Hi, welcome to another video in Yummy Data Science channel. And this video is a part of my series of videos that I'm making free and available to everyone. And it's part of my class that I'm teaching at UMass. And in this module, we are doing a historical perspective on three key influencers who made great strides in public health through their tireless work. Um, and in today's topic, we are focusing on James Lind, who is known as the father of clinical trials. And the key concept we're going to be covering is clinical trials and the disease that he worked in and made such strides in eradicating and curing is scurvy. So, a quick background and context setting on clinical trials. Here in the US, we have a government agency called the FDA, the Food and Drug Administration, whose entire reason for existence is to be responsible for protecting public health. And it does that by ensuring the safety, efficacy, and security uh, of drugs, biological products, and medical devices. There is more to its mission because it also protects food, but in the context of clinical trials, we'll stick with drugs and other biological products and medical devices. Um, so clinical trials are medical research done with human volunteers, and their whole reason is to figure out whether a drug that's being tested is effective in detecting a disease, diagnosing a disease, preventing or treating a disease. And after these various clinical trials, as you can see, there's phase 0 through phase 4. After phase 3, the drug can be approved or disapproved by the FDA. So there's a very long process, and I'm going to tie it with what James Lind did, but a little bit more on what these phases are. Phase 0 is when you are just testing for the drug's safety, and it is given out in extremely low doses, and a low number of people are involved in the study. And the whole idea is to figure out, how do healthy volunteers respond to the drug? Are there any harmful effects? Because the focus is on safety. Phase 2 focuses still on safety, but now the intention of the study is to figure out what are the ranges of the doses that are safe, and we still have a low number of people. Phase 2 then goes into safety and efficacy. So lots more people, and trying to find out, is the drug providing a benefit? And we also look at the side effects that people experience. Phase 3 is the largest study before approval, and this involves much larger groups of people, and they can be designed in a complex way, and it's to compare the treatment with other standard treatments and see if there's an additional benefit. And based on that, the FDA may approve your drug. Phase 4 involves thousands and thousands of people, and it's to continue studying the long-term safety of a drug and any additional benefits that it may have. So, as I said before, James Lind is considered the father of clinical trials, and he was a naval surgeon. So, back in the 17th and 18th century, scurvy was the bane of existence for sailors. A little bit of background on scurvy. It's really an awful disease, and it is caused by deficiency of vitamin C. Unlike animals, we humans cannot make vitamin C out of the food we eat. We need to get it. And at that point, people didn't know about the importance of vitamins. And a deficiency of vitamin C impacts our connective tissue because there's a key protein we need to produce in order to keep our connective tissue healthy. One of the first symptoms of scurvy is fatigue. Then, when the disease advances, your gums start bleeding, your teeth become loose and fall out, your skin bleeds, old wounds that have healed reopen and start bleeding, and finally you die. So, as the sad face says, this is a really bad disease. And it was so bad that there was one trip in the 18th century that out of a crew of 2,000 people, 1,300 sailors died of scurvy. Now, James Lind was a naval surgeon, and he was big into fresh air and hygiene. And he wrote about those extensively, how important it was for sailors to get fresh air and to keep clean conditions. So, at that time, there were many theories what was causing scurvy. One possible hypothesis was that it was the salty air that was causing it. And there were many remedies that were, and bizarre as they may sound, they seemed perfectly reasonable to the people at that time. So, what James Lind did is when his group of sailors started experiencing scurvy, he took a group of 12 sailors and he systematically divided them into 6 groups. He made sure that their diet and work responsibilities were the same. So he's making sure there are no confounding factors. And then with the 6 groups, he gave them different treatments. And these are called, so group 1 through 5 are controls, and group 6 is the treatment that he's testing. So group 1 was a quart of cider a day. Group 2 was a few drops of diluted sulfuric acid, or vitriol, as it was known back then. Sulfuric acid, by the way, is the stuff that you have in really heavy-duty cleaners like drain pipes. And we would shudder at the idea of ingesting it. Right now, these days, but back then, people thought, hey, maybe this will help scurvy. Group 3 got seawater. Group 4 got spice paste. Group 5 got vinegar. Group 6 got 2 small oranges and some lemon. And it so happened then within a week, group 6 recovered, and James Lind stopped the study, as was the right and ethical thing to do. Once you figure out in a clinical trial that your treatment is very effective, you stop, and then you're obligated to help others and give the same treatment to everybody else. So he stopped the study, and the group 6 sailors helped nurse others back to health. And much of the information from this article is taken from the BBC News article. So please feel free to check it out. It's pretty interesting. One thing that I have found really curious is group 4 had spice paste. Now, it is a little known fact that chilies have way more vitamin C than lemons and oranges. But the spice paste did not have chilies, it had other things. So, which is fine because he was able to demonstrate that the 5 control groups had such a big differential with the 6th treatment group. And that is the whole idea of clinical trials. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed the video. On to the next one.